Your biggest enemy is not failure. It is not lack of money, background, or opportunity. Your biggest enemy is the way you think. Most people remain stuck in life not because they are lazy, but because they are thinking exactly like everyone around them. And the truth is, everyone around them is struggling financially, emotionally, and mentally. So when you think like the crowd, you unknowingly walk toward the same results as the crowd. The difference between people who build wealth and people who constantly chase survival is not luck, intelligence, or even hard work. The real difference lies in perspective. Successful people see reality differently. They respond differently. They think long before they react. While most people panic during problems, high performers pause and ask themselves a powerful question. Will this situation even matter years from now? Almost every stressful moment feels massive in the present. A failed plan, bad news, rejection, conflict, or unexpected change can instantly trigger fear and frustration. But when you step back and look at life from a long-term view, most of those moments disappear into insignificance. What truly remains is not the problem itself, but the way you handled it. Calm thinkers build strong lives because they refuse to waste emotional energy on temporary chaos. They understand that urgency does not always mean importance. They protect their focus for things that actually compound over time. Most people believe success comes from working harder, pushing longer hours, and exhausting themselves daily. But hard work alone rarely creates freedom. Hard work without awareness only makes you busy. The people who truly move forward begin noticing patterns. When the same challenges appear again and again, they stop blaming circumstances and start examining systems. Repeating problems are rarely coincidences. They are signals that something deeper needs restructuring. Instead of solving the same issue repeatedly, successful individuals build processes that prevent the problem from returning. They stop firefighting and start designing solutions that last. This shift transforms effort into leverage. When systems replace constant struggle, progress becomes sustainable. Life stops feeling overwhelming because structure replaces chaos. Another powerful shift happens when you begin thinking from a higher level than your current position. Most people react from emotion because they are trapped inside the situation. Growth begins when you mentally step outside the problem and observe it like a leader would. Instead of asking, "What should I do right now?" you begin asking how someone wiser, calmer, and more experienced would approach this moment. That distance removes emotional noise and allows clarity to take control. True leadership is not about solving every problem yourself. Constantly rescuing situations weakens both people and systems. Growth happens when responsibility is allowed to develop strength. When you stop reacting instantly and start designing better structures, you move from being someone who does the work to someone who builds something that works without constant intervention. One of the hardest lessons in personal and professional growth is learning to separate emotion from decision-making. Feelings are human, but decisions built purely on emotion often create long-term damage. Successful individuals acknowledge emotions without allowing them to control outcomes. They look at results, patterns, and measurable reality rather than temporary discomfort. Clarity brings peace because decisions become logical instead of personal. When choices are guided by facts rather than fear, progress accelerates. Execution becomes faster, cleaner, and more confident. Emotional noise fades and focus sharpens. This discipline creates freedom because energy is no longer wasted on doubt or hesitation. There is also one resource more valuable than money, reputation, or talent, and that resource is time. Money can return after loss, but time never comes back. Many people fill their lives with endless commitments that create the illusion of productivity while silently draining their future. Saying yes to everything often means saying no to meaningful progress. Highly effective individuals treat time like capital. Every hour carries value. Every commitment must serve growth, learning, strategy, or meaningful relationships. They eliminate distractions that fragment attention and steal momentum. Instead of managing time, they invest it carefully. Their calendars reflect priorities, not pressure. When time is protected, energy returns, creativity expands, and progress becomes intentional. Environment plays an even deeper role than most people realize. Human thinking adapts to surroundings faster than effort can overcome them. The people you listen to, the conversations you tolerate, and the standards around you quietly shape your beliefs. When surrounded by limitation, excuses begin to feel normal. When surrounded by ambition and accountability, growth becomes inevitable. Success rarely happens despite environment. It happens because environment supports evolution. When you intentionally choose spaces and relationships that challenge your thinking, your standards rise naturally. Discomfort appears, but that discomfort signals expansion. Growth always begins where familiarity ends. Take an honest look at the voices closest to you. Are they encouraging progress or reinforcing fear? Are they pushing you forward or keeping you comfortable? Your future reflects the environment you repeatedly expose yourself to. Change the environment and thinking changes. Change thinking and life direction transforms. Real success begins the moment you stop reacting automatically and start thinking intentionally. Long-term vision replaces short-term panic. Systems replace struggle. Logic replaces emotional chaos. Time becomes investment instead of exhaustion. Environment becomes fuel instead of limitation. Wealth, confidence, and fulfillment are not accidents reserved for a lucky few. They are outcomes created by disciplined thinking repeated daily. The world does not change when circumstances change. It changes when perception changes. The moment you begin thinking differently from the majority, you begin moving differently from the majority. And eventually, you begin living differently from the majority. Success is not about becoming someone else. It is about upgrading the way you think, decide, and act every single day. Because in the end, your life follows one rule above all others. You don't get what you want. You get what your thinking creates.